I'll tell you a story about one of the most painful moments in my career. I had just hired this guy, let's call him Bob. And I liked Bob a lot. He was smart, he was charming, he was funny. He would do stuff like we were at a manager offsite and we were playing one of those endless get to know you games. And this is a startup where we were working and everyone was pretty stressed out. It was a busy time in the company's history. And Bob was the guy who had the courage to raise his hand and to say, look, I can tell everyone's stressed out and we need to get back to work. I've got an idea. It'll help us get to know each other and it'll be really fast. Whatever his idea was, if it was fast, we were down with it. And he said, let's just go around the table and confess what candy our parents used when potty training us. Really weird, but really fast. Weirder
Okay.
yet, all of our parents had used candy when potty training us, and all of us remembered what it was. And then for the next 10 months, every time there was a tense moment in a meeting, Bob would whip out just the right piece of candy for the right person at the right moment. So Bob was kind of quirky. He brought a little levity to the office. Everyone loved Bob. One problem with Bob: he was doing terrible work. He would hand stuff into me and there was shame in his eyes. I was so puzzled. I couldn't understand what was going on. I learned much later the problem was that he was smoking pot in the bathroom 4 times a day, which maybe explained all that candy. But anyway, I didn't know any of that at the time. All I knew was that Bob was not living up to his resume, shall we say.
Right.
And so this goes on. And when he would hand stuff into me, I would say to him something along the lines, classic ruinous empathy, something along the lines of, oh, Bob, you're so smart. You're so awesome. We all love working with you. This is a great start. Maybe you can make it just a little bit better, which of course he never did.
Are you sure
So
you didn't grow up in England? That's the sort of thing that we say. Because I would say that Americans are really quite direct. Because when you say in England, you must come round for dinner, which obviously translates as you must never come around
yeah,
for dinner.
please.
Okay, so you told him that it was pretty good work, but there could be a
Yeah.
little bit of an improvement.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And so let's pause for a moment on why I said that. Part of it was truly ruinous empathy. I really did like Bob and I really did not want to hurt his
You
feelings.
want to spare his feelings, yeah.
Yeah. But if I'm honest with myself, there was more than a little dose of manipulative insincerity in there as well, because Bob was popular on the team and he was also a sensitive guy. And I was afraid that if I told Bob in no uncertain terms that his work wasn't nearly good enough, he would get upset. He might even start to cry. And then everyone would think I was a big, you know what.
Yeah, you were
So
mean.
yeah. Or they would call me something worse than mean.
Yeah, sure.
And so the part of me that was worried about my reputation as a leader was the manipulative insincerity part. The part of me that was worried about Bob's feelings was the ruinous empathy part. So this goes on for 10 months and eventually the inevitable happens. And I realize if I don't fire Bob, I'm going to lose all my best performers because they're fed up. Their deliverables are late because his deliverables are late. They're not able to spend as much time doing their best work because
Because
they're
he's
having
stoned.
he's stoned. They're having to redo his work. And so they're going to go. And so I sat down to have a conversation with Bob that I should frankly have started 10 months previously. And when I finished explaining to him where things stood, he kind of pushed his chair back from the table. He looked me right in the eyes and he said, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Right.
And as that is going around in my head with no good answer, he said to me, "Why didn't anyone tell me? I thought you all cared about me." And now I realized that I had failed Bob. I had just trying to be nice. I had pulled my punches and now I'm firing him because of it. Not so nice after all.
Yeah.
But it was too late at that moment to save Bob. Even Bob agreed that he should go. His reputation on the team was shot. All I could do in that moment was make myself a very solemn promise that I would never make that mistake again and that I would do everything in my power to help other managers avoid making that mistake, because it is, in my experience, the most common mistake that managers make by far, to the tune of 85%.